Well, people class this session. You eyeglass boy, remember you know, you bring a man to your father when you have auntie only.
Naughty, good night. Sonia Mills, good night. Hold on there. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here, so. Wait, they say when your hand make a scratch, what happen? What they say, when your hand make a scratch, how you get naughty money? Good night, good night, good night, everybody. Good night. Good night, Anne Marie, Robert. Good night. One song, you remember one song? Who sing the song here? What a ibam bamba, yeah. When it, I forget, so I can't sing. Now, what song me sing when I know, so they send me copyright for it. How what song me did sing again? The people that send me copyright, so I can't go sing that one day. But I said when the 2 7s clash. But if a 2 7 clash, you know, it look like a 1 bag of 7 clash. May I get money? Yeah! Right in time. You know, I must mark that if I true. I mark it if I true, you know. I never really mark that. It's a true, I not believe in this whole heap of myth and them foolishness. I don't really put them in a practice. I when the 2 7s clash, yeah, Anne Marie. You know, song Anne Marie, go on with yourself. What a piece of report from the Auditor General. What a report. Daryl Vazim come out swinging, as usual. Me telling a long time, you know, people. You say, if you don't listen to me, telling you, say, from the first time I go to Petersfield, I come make a video and I telling you my observation. I tell the PMP to do a check to see how many different foundation was made in the after Melissa blow. Who are their directors? Now that's what the Auditor General is saying. How many different spread across? No. When the PMP is saying, first of all, Andrew move up the office, put in a FEME office, so over FEME's jurisdiction. And we don't know if him, hey, you know, to them, I come and I drive and I say, you know, them people are really unreasonable. They would even sit down and looking at themselves and say, you know, say we do, make we try to do something good and stop the foolishness what we do. It's like the more them are getting a hit, and the more they want. The more they get it, the more they want it. What is wrong? What is wrong with these people? Can somebody tell me? What wrong with them? What is wrong with them people? Anybody can tell me? Diane, good night. No, Daryl was making time for later. But, good night, Diane. Anne-Marie, I'm greeting already, right? All right. Robert Edwards, good night. Nikisha Burchell came out saying something. I may listen to it and I say, anything can go, so. I'm going to play the clip. And if you remember, if you double tap up your phone screen and I use the little thumbs up button. Listen to this.
Hello, South St. James. I want to be clear with you from the outset because many of you have come to my office frustrated about the slow pace of housing recovery. Parliament decided that housing recovery after Hurricane Melissa would be managed directly by the government through its ministries and agencies, primarily the Ministry of Labour and Social Security and the Ministry of Housing. That responsibility does not sit with the Member of Parliament. But if your home suffered major damage from Hurricane Melissa, it is the government, not the MP, that has the authority and the resources to assist you with housing. Housing assistance is being driven through assessments and databases managed by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. So if your home is not in that database, you will not receive government housing support. That is why I continue to urge residents to self-report. Go to their website at www.mlss.gov.jm and to keep all of your photos and your videos of your damage. I must also raise serious concerns because across South St. James, I continue to receive complaints that assessment teams have not reached some communities, or that residents were overlooked even when teams were present. I've also heard concerns about political bias among some volunteers. While I cannot verify every report I've received, the pattern is worrying, and it raises fears that South St. James may be left behind because if you're not in the database, you will not get support. Now, despite the challenges, we have acted where we can. As you know, $10 million was allocated to each affected constituency for housing assistance from last year. We were advised that grants of $100,000 could be issued, but that would have helped only 100 households. After consultation with churches and community leaders, we decided to divide the funding into $50,000 grants. So 200 of the worst affected households could receive something. It's not a lot, but something. 50 were to be selected through the churches, so the church would select a member. 50 through me in consultation with community stakeholders, and the other 100 was divided into 25 for each of the 4 divisions. That information has been submitted to the ministry and we're awaiting disbursement. So that's done already. I also need to flag a critical issue.
So then I get the disbursement here.
Based in the UK and Barbados, has pledged up to 30 housing solutions for South St. James, along with support for sustainable electricity and water. They are prepared to come at their own cost, but their work is stalled because a simple MOU from the government has not been signed. There is now a real risk that South St. James could lose this support because of inaction, bureaucracy, red tape, confusion. I want to thank those who have stepped in where the response has been slow. I thank the Jaja Foundation, Shani Gonzalez and her family and friends, CM Recycling and Mr. McFarling and his team, the Most Honorable Peter Patterson and the donors he has mobilized to help us, the Meggie family, Mr. Betten and his friends in Texas, and the many private individuals who have helped quietly and asked me, said, please, don't spread them business abroad. For those who wish to help with a housing repair package of about $150,000, you can help to stabilize a damaged home. And a basic 10 by 10 starter structure can be built for about $300,000. Support with building materials such as block, steel, and cement, sand, and stone is also welcome. South St. James, we cannot be left behind. Housing remains our greatest need, and I will continue to press until our people are seen, counted, and supported.
No, the part that I really can't understand is that she's going to get persons from overseas want to help her community with 100 houses. The team want to come to Jamaica, but in order to come and do it, they need to get the consent from the government. And can you believe that the government now sign it? Listen good to what you said a while ago? Do you want me play it back so we listen it again and hear it again? Let me play it back again. Listen attentively.
Hello, South St. James. I want to be clear with you from the outset
Straight
because
sabotaging.
many of you have come to my office frustrated about the slow pace of housing recovery. Parliament decided that housing recovery after Hurricane Melissa would be managed directly by the government through its ministries and agencies, primarily the Ministry of Labour and Social Security and the Ministry of Housing. That responsibility does not sit with the Member of Parliament. But if your home suffered major damage from Hurricane Melissa, it is the government, not the MP, that has the authority and the resources to assist you with housing. Housing assistance is being driven through assessments and databases managed by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. So if your home is not in that database, you will not receive government housing support. That is why I continue to urge residents to self-report. Go to their website at www.mlss.gov.jm and to keep all of your photos and your videos of your damage. I must also raise serious concerns because across South St. James, I continue to receive complaints that assessment teams have not reached some communities, or that residents were overlooked even when teams were present. I've also heard concerns about political bias among some volunteers. While I cannot verify every report I've received, the pattern is worrying, and it raises fears that South St. James may be left behind because if you're not in the database, you will not get support. Now, despite the challenges, we have acted where we can. As you know, $10 million was allocated to each affected constituency for housing assistance from last year. We were advised that grants of $100,000 could be issued, but that would have helped only 100 households. After consultation with churches and community leaders, we decided to divide the funding into $50,000 grants. So 200 of the worst affected households could receive something. It's not a lot, but something. 50 were to be selected through the churches, so the church would select a member. 50 through me in consultation with community stakeholders, and the other 100 was divided into 25 for each of the 4 divisions. That information has been submitted to the ministry and we're awaiting disbursement. So that's done already. I also need to flag a critical issue. A humanitarian group based in the UK and Barbados, has pledged up to 30 housing solutions for South St. James, along with support for sustainable electricity and water. They are prepared to come at their own cost, but their work is stalled because a simple MOU from the government has not been signed. There is now a real risk that South St. James could lose this support because of inaction, bureaucracy, red tape, confusion. I want to thank those who have stepped in where the response has been slow. I thank the Jaja Foundation, Shani Gonzalez and her family and friends, CM Recycling and Mr. McFarling.
What would stop a government from allowing your people who were hit by a Category 5 hurricane and lost all that they have, and people from overseas want to come in and to help, and you would deny that because it is not a constituency won by the Jamaica Labour Party? That's the whole reason. That is the whole reason. I never see a people then win and still unhappy. The people that win the election are still unhappy. The people that win, but they still good night, Sharon. Good night, Ivy. Sonia Joy, you were saying, tell Mark, I say, Mark is not the government, and so he can't override the government to go sign paper. All he can do, they can't tap him for collect no money. So what people they need for do, send the money. So if they don't want them come, the money where they not come for use with the material. Send whatever you can send and make the member of parliament help who she can help. Make them go and sabotage. Make them go on. Because no labor right community not get that the opportunity. They no want give it to the PMP. We see what go on. But no can't stop we, you know. Because people them out there look and watch and see what go on. You know see what Dwayne Vaz, me show no. Dwayne Vaz get one whole container load of something. All for the hospital. But me show no. Can put you up. I don't know me not make no video.
Loading a 40-foot container with various supplies. We talk about food, clothing, dialysis machines, books, you name it. Everything you can think of is right here in this container. And I must say thank you to the Jew and Chauvin Foundation, along with Melissa Clark and family, and everybody who had something to do with this container coming here to Central Westmoreland. I want to give a big thank you to all of them, because everything that is here today is greatly appreciated. There are stuff that will be going to the Savlamar Public Hospital, stuff that will go into the Williamsfield community, and other communities across the constituency of Central Westmoreland. So I'm really happy, because every single item here will be going to somebody who needs it. And many persons across the constituency are still not up to where they were before the hurricane. And this is just a part of the process to get them back on track to where they were before the hurricane devastated this constituency and the parish as a whole. So I want to say thanks again, and big up my friend Lloyd Clark also, who really went through so much to ensure this container got here smoothly from it came, leaving New York to come in here today. So I want to big him up for that, for the effort he made to ensure that the citizens of Central Westmoreland would actually be able to benefit from the items that were donated from this foundation and the family and friends who all came together to make this happen. I thank you very much.
We thank them too. Thank on the friends of New York. Help out Central Westmoreland. So while the government are withhold, and then I notice what happened on the ground, people are running and giving to the communities them. And Mary say, mighty God, heart bleed, auntie, how can a man wicked? Wicked man. The boy are wicked. They're all wicked. Evil. 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 You imagine all them cold thing you are going? Me see one person that put out all the breeze blood on the tarpaulin and something where they live under. And here Nikisha say, if them not register and put themselves in a database, they not get no help. And you know, here Andrew come out and threaten the people then with the money for put on back roof. And you know, then find out say the people then not spend the money how it for spend, they might get more cap on them. More cap, you know. Him a fall person, I say people are him a go get more cap on people if they not spend the money or if they spend. Yet there how much billions of dollars under administration Miss Nan cannot be accounted for, and more can lock him up yet. More can I lock him up yet, you know? That's why most of my going, you know. I go to Westmoreland. It's a further journey, but me I go Westmoreland. I think anytime I have some more stuff up, me I go on Nikisha. Think me I go help her. Anytime I have some little stuff. in whatever capacity I can. Because it is clear politics happening here. We can go so. Now, after the Auditor General came out and flagged the system, Auditor General observed the hurricane relief. And there's another hear more story. Listen this.
According to the Auditor General's report, published on February 4, Minister Vaz proceeded with the acquisition of Starlink units outside of established procurement procedures, triggering scrutiny from oversight bodies tasked with protecting the integrity of public spending. This is particularly troubling given the safeguards procurement rules are designed to provide. I wish to point out further that the issue is complicated by the minister's own public statements. On November 1, 2025, Minister Vaz announced that Jamaica had received 700 Starlink units as a donation in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, presenting the devices as emergency support for national connectivity.
Mr.
Jamaicans are
Anne-Marie,
entitled to clear and consistent answers. If 700 Starlink units were declared as a donation, the public must now be told why a subsequent purchase has been made and now been flagged by the Auditor General.
we telling her this and
I
not
wish
nine
to
by.
reiterate
Good
our
night,
call for
good
the
night,
establishment of
Betty
a
Ann.
broad-based oversight committee to strengthen transparency and accountability across government. Incidents like this highlight exactly why independent, cross-sector oversight is necessary, especially at this time.
At pnp.org.jm.
All right, ear theme respond now. Ear theme respond.
There was no breaches of the procurement guidelines, and the documentation that I have released shows that clearly. And secondly, if it is that my timely, effective action as Minister of Telecommunications and co-chair of the Cabinet Subcommittee for the Melissa recovery was beneficial by getting help to those affected persons, whether saving a life, getting food to them, whatever it is, I make no apology whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I go further. In circumstances such as these, if I had to do it again, I would do it again. In response to the opposition statement, I simply say to Philip Powell, the leader of the opposition, all members of Parliament in the affected areas, both opposition and government, plus mayors and councillors on both sides were recipients of Starlink to allow them to be able to better communicate with the responding agencies and their constituents.
But I know that the question,
so I'm not
Paul.
quite sure what they are complaining about.
Shut up for your
There
mouth.
was no breaches.
Shut your mouth, because you don't answer what Paul said. Paul said you come out and said we get 700 Starlink, and why you need was to buy 200 more. That is a question Paul will ask, and that is a question we are asked. Where 700 Starlink want to get as a donation? Where them there? Who get them? And why it was necessary for you to buy 200 more and spend more money? That's all we ask. Nobody go on it. You never answer a question straight at any. You never walk straight or you never answer a question straight. Michael, good night. Michael, you dash me away, man. Cheese and peace. Can one man say they love one woman and then left a woman just all by themselves? Me can't see one man say they love one woman and the man just gone, left a woman so. How I can't go so, brother? The woman never do you nothing. How you gone? Are you know saying in real life as a man treat woman too? And I, Clive, good night. Not even around a back road. Have some no, the corruption not going around a back road, my Clive. Everybody gotta know exactly what them are gonna for and hello, good night.
Good night, Auntie Jen, and good night to everyone.
We're going
Auntie
with
Jen,
yeah.
is Andrew Owens is a piece of madman or in lick him head pan a wall? What happened?
My figure saying licking head pan a wall.
I think the dream I have that I was beating him and fall down off the bed. Maybe.
No, are you causing? Are you beat up a man? Are you beat up a man?
I think Andrew said he's going to make, was it Mocha investigate who get 20,000?
If you put out the roof something them. Am I make them investigate them for know if them taking money and buy if you put on roof.
I think Mocha should go straight to Andrew Owens. Every house he's got billing and going for the one the big house and go there and investigate him first. And the next thing he should investigate is was every one of them. Andrew's mad. Andrew's trying to distract people from the real issue. And we are taking it up. The real issue is this, Andrew. When is your court case going to turn up? Huh? Paul Reed one going to go. You know, see Paul Reed lawyer never turn up and the case going on. Huh? Those are the things you should talk about. 20,000. What can 20,000 buy? I went to Jamaica the year before last. And when I pick up a few things, it come up to 36,000. Huh? What I'm talking about, Mocha? Mocha, I hear that they're going to dismantle Mocha. You hear that?
No.
Yeah.
Mm.
But he's going to investigate. Mocha should go and investigate. I would, if I got the money and they come at my door, take it and dash it in a Mocha face and tell it to go and give Andrew, make him put it where the monkey shall go. Huh? Andrew, you mad. What is 20,000? You get millions to give out to the people. Millions like this. Oh, God. Andrew, you really take black people, the real black people who went to, what they call it, school? At the school they call it for slow learners in Jamaica. What do you call it?
Special needs?
Yeah, you think
they have other name for it. They call it
Jamal.
Oh, the Jamal. Oh, Jamal.
Yeah, you think people gone to Jamal? Even the special need got more sense than you, Andrew. You play the fool with people out there. You can talk pretty and things like that, but you know you make your reporter ask Mr. Mark, Sir Mark Golden, a question about his charity. Mr. Golden should never answer them about that. They should ask you, return the question back, and you should let us know the amount of money you collect. Millions. What about the food you collect? We don't have them to give out for when the local election come again to give out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And do you think you can fool everybody, but you can't? My grandmother, there's a saying, a thief a thief always try to shoot a thief to make sure another thief don't thief like him.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You can drink, you can mix coffee and milk. And you suck out the milk, it's only the black coffee left. You're not a nice person. You're not a nice person. You let down Jamaica. You know, everywhere in the world we go, it was Jamaica. And what an African say, I used to work for the police many years and many moons ago. And an African came in. I was asking the clerk what he wants, you know, because I used to do cooking. And an African.
So answer the question then.
I'm talking like an African, and when the police asked him where you from, he said Jamaica. But he believed every black was a Jamaican.
Oh.
You know, people used to believe Barbados was Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Massachusetts and went in a store. And when I tell the gentleman where I'm living, he said, what part of Jamaica is that? I said, no, it's another island. Everybody used to say Jamaica, Jamaica, because we were the star of the Caribbean. No, Andrew. Andrew bring Jamaica to nothing. But we're going to get back up again one day. We're going to be back number one again.
I agree.
One day, before I die, I ask the Lord to hold me up to let me see Jamaica be back again. Because something like you, Andrew, you're coming like the worm that when you leave meat outside and it turn maggot. That's what you are, a maggot. I call here, Auntie Jen.
All right, have yourself a good night. Thanks for calling.
Thank you, my darling.
All right. Let me answer the question. Let me say a whole heap of question and ask. Let me get back to them. If the clerk lied, nah, then Mrs. She, man. Me soon come to she too. Michael here said Darrell sick. His wife sick. Edmund Bartlett sick too. So me here. Come off and catch them. Jen, how is the weather? I never suffer bad from the weather, Diane. I never put on a sweater. It was a little chilly. It's warm right now. Diane was look unwell. I hear Anne-Marie had a hole in her heart from long time. Oh, then wicked, so. Good night, Joanne Morris. Artistic. No, them have a lot of teeth and money. Them cold like ice. Them cold like ice. Them cold like ice. Diane say what's the latest on Silvera case? One statement put up. I never say I aim it. Let me read it for now. I'm not sorry for Silvera, you know. I'm not sorry for Silvera, so I'm telling you for now. I'm telling you exactly what I say. Silvera claims Melissa was shot during tussle after a heated domestic argument. Silvera has alleged that he snapped and shot his wife Melissa to death after she blamed him for the death of their 1-year-old son during a heated argument. The explanation formed part of the guilty plea by which the former PNP lawmaker explained the circumstances that result in his wife being killed inside their bedroom in Stony Hill, St. Andrew, on November 2023. It's understood she was shot 3 times. You hear that, Diane? Miss Hearing said Auditor General, everybody tell lie upon them, man. You know what I'm not sorry for him? You see, if on day one, him did tell the people, say, good night, Odin. If him come out and say, him really mistakenly, and father. But 3, 1, 2, 3, and a 1. And a 1. Say she did a blame him for the death of his son. The woman have all the right for blame because I blame it too. Anything he do, he can't get away. He still have to spend time behind bars. And him was 50-something. By the time he come out, if he live, he might be 70 yard. So, there's nothing much, too much him can do. I mean, I know how much I will live 50, 70, so. Come off to catch him. I think I better in conscience get him to, you know. You think when him sit down in there and I think about it, must reflect. and know what going. You look like you all a ton idiot too, you know. Cause more time you see when he got caught, him a laugh. That's some madness standing, you know. He head a take him, you know. Me not try to take up for him, but he head not look right. And that are the argument we hear. The neighbor who give an account when the incident they just happen. A long time the neighbor say him do it. The neighbor did give a statement and say she hear commotion and then they ear shot. I don't know if you remember that. And then because I have it on my platform and I forgot I way down when I forgot to look for that the clip. So a whole heap of little thing did that go on. Now people have it for say people go over there go help him. Nobody not go there go help him. Another thing when them in guard the house then see where some tiles they dig up. I have only evidence against him, you know. Some tile they dig up and like them are refurbish back the house. So him did a try for disguise it anyway. Well, him money now go help him. A good family income from. That not have nothing to do with you. No matter how the good family income from. Him is a monster. Most of what you say do evil thing come from good family, you know. So him never get no me not sorry for him. Him never sorry for his wife. You can't get so angry. You can't get so angry that you couldn't control yourself. If you and the woman couldn't make it, wanna go in a separate way. Him look crazy to me. But me never want to talk like that when nobody got things that me I try. Hello, good night.
Good night, Amina.
Good night. How you do?
What's up?
A long time we don't hear this voice, you know.
I'm tired of the wicked politician.
Boy, sometimes I feel like top talk at them. Every day is not a day pass.
Yeah, understand. And I was in Jamaica.
You there Jamaica?
Yeah, no, me come up back from January, man. But in December, I was in Jamaica.
So you couldn't give me a link and make me come look for you.
Oh Lord, you know, say when me got no light and the phone now work in Jamaica, I don't know, but realize that Jamaica mash up and them so them a do work, them a show progress, but me can't see it all now.
Me not see it neither, me also. Me blind. Me blind too.
Me don't know if other people them a see it.
Here what me say, all to them I go in time, me look on the garbage all over the place and me look on the road surface in the middle of this town. And when me look on this, me can't see progress myself. Me don't know if me blind. I do like Fraser.
The road and the journey is a mess. Every minute me have to swing for a minute for swing for a patrol. And them said, remember one time him come out and said him put out $40 billion for fix road and them thing that.
No, you know.
What about those,
well, no.
those money?
You know, sister, me say but they come out last week I say it was over time and all of that money they spent about $5 million out of that spend.
Well, I mean, I know.
But that them did come out and say before the election, you know.
They say it's a spark, it's a this,
it's a spark and it's a reach.
And it's a reach. And so, and I tell them, man, me down there and me say my shoulder hurt me because every minute me have to swing. You see, if I swing for one and next one catch you, you know.
You have to be careful how you swing, you know, sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yes.
One time me nearly
me
swing and nearly go in a somebody already. Sometime last year, me learn a lesson. Me say, you see what me I do? Me I take anytime I reach a patrol then me just take my time. If me see the road really clear, me swing out. But anyhow me see nothing too close, me just take my time, go down in the pothole and take time, come out back. That's what me do.
Yes, and sometimes you want to do that, you know, but the whole catch you so quick you not even know.
Me say, like for me road, when me drive,
you know?
like for me road when me drive on. You see, first time like when me not go Westmoreland, me not drive fast when me come down off a spur tree hill. It's like one might say, you know what, just drive at a speed as if you buck up a patrol them. And it's a good thing me
Yes.
do that too. So like now through me make so much trip, me start to know where patrol end there. So me know where
Yes.
which part me can drive like a fast and when me go slow.
Yes. Yes, me burst tire out there, man.
Your bus tire?
But yes, man, we have to pay $15,000 to buy the tire and get a youth, all the rim bent up. And a patrol. Yes, Auntie Jen. But you know what I say, more say, big up the people living at Sparling's Hospital. I was in Sparling's Hospital when I give out some care package to the elderly them over in a Sparling. So if the nurse them here we was there in December giving out the care package to the people and the elderly them in the hospital, pampers and stuff like that, bed linen and thing like that. You understand?
Mm.
Yeah, man, Sparling's Hospital. When they call it Percy Junior Hospital, that's what they call it.
Me never
If
know.
somebody remember it, yeah, but something like Percy Junior Hospital, something like that. Sparling's Hospital, over Sparling's.
Mm.
Yes, when I give out them things there to them, you get what I'm saying? All
Yeah.
different things. You understand me? We have to care for the people them, but the people them have to care for themselves too. For them to realize that these politicians is no good. This man don't. All right, look, you know what more have said to you, Auntie Jen, and listen to them.
Yeah.
Last week, me I listened the thing with Mr. Golding, the press conference.
Yes.
I noticed that even the news media, that are TVJ and all those news media, them now ask the issue of the country, you know, when them are trying to ask Mr. Golding about the donation money. Remember, I know Mr. Golding response for the people, them then, for the taxpayer money then. And that the money we want to know about, we don't want to know about the money where people give Mr. Golden to give the PMP or give whosoever in a theme party or whatsoever. We want to know what happened to the money where where the Prime Minister get.
No,
And that the money with them to ask about.
no, they're not interested in that. They're interested.
They're not interested in that. They're just interested in the wrong thing. They might ask about the even come talk about where the man the MP say I him get the thing there for the hospital.
Yeah.
And you know so when them call him, don't say call the man name in night. They never call him name. No name. Mr. Golden tell them say the man name never call, so him can't just them so but yes still and that them a talk about, but them not talk about the Prime Minister and the theme thing them theme whole heap of corruption where going. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
And see all the lady in the house clerk. I be a lie she a tell for she thief up the whole heap of money, whole of them involved. You understand me? And I come say them she never know. And I say the bank make mistake. Or the bank will go make mistake. The bank will take away your money more than give you more money. Allow me to tell you.
True.
So me understand you she come talk about bank give her make mistake and give her money. And she where she right. Mr. Bunting catch up on it and say where you right. And you make the mistake. And I know mistake they make, you know.
No.
No mistake, and them do it that way they forget the money if you put over in a for them account and make the people them drive up the vehicle them and you have to talk about you know and people robbing man thing and them see them and do them thing. Just like when them they do down at the House of Parliament so them catch a fire. You remember that story there?
Yeah.
All know they can't catch nobody fees, but they know everybody business in Jamaica and they know where everybody there. And my Prime Minister say no, who are doing the killing and crime and things like that, you know. So we can't find those people. They try to burn down the House of Parliament. Eh?
And them do it.
We need to get rid of this corrupt government. And the question more for ask, what about film case? They not come up again?
My ear say, I went, it's 17. And a month again, it didn't put off, you know. It did put off last month to this month.
And when it a go put off again, and them a go delay it, and if all of them are delay, it's a tactics all of them are do. And I carry the IC got code antigen. Every time I listen your program and it's right, every time I let them do. Why none of these people can hold account and send to jail?
That me want to know too.
Antigen, hold on, let me tell you before me go. I come to Jamaica and the lady, I wouldn't mind she listen to your program. There's this girl at the airport. We call them customer. I saw them calling them custom broker them.
Yeah, custom.
We come to Jamaica. You understand me? I have a couple of suitcases. I carry my family with me. You understand, Antigen?
Yeah.
Alright. We go to this gentleman. But the lady did eager for we come to them for a couple of weeks I come through. You understand? Man to go be a airport me attack.
Yeah.
Some more of them hear me. See? Alright, the lady did want me to come, but that gentleman was there, called me over. So all the man was asking with passport and thing like that. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
And they say the amount of suitcase we are bring. So you never worried surgery. You know, so the lady sit beside the brother. I tell the brother, say, ask the brother why you don't search up with suitcase them.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
And me I try to say that lady, miss, you're not to have bad mind. If you go for work, just work. Do your work on your side and leave other people business alone. For the gentleman decide say nah search so much suitcase. You understand me, Antigen?
Yeah.
For we are come back at Jamaica we come from. So we just come visit and carry some stuff for some people and things like that. And you know, so the girl vex, the next girl vex, you know, say I know she get with search me up, and the youth just give it the leeway if it got through. You understand me? If I'm not going to search for a 9 suitcase in all, you understand me? But the man not going to go through so much suitcase. Because when she search up the suitcase, them Antigen, she don't pack back the people them stuff. And she go fit stuff underneath where she not for go for. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
I look for Starlink and them thing there. And the people them I give it to her. I cuss her.
So them did that take away Starlink them?
Them a try to take her stuff and tell the people them to go pay for whatsoever and thing and ask why you bring on this new one. So like they want to take out people's stuff out of them suitcase. You understand me? So our suitcase never get searched. And the girl vex.
Mm.
You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Like she had I fear the place. She someone forgot and leave there too. And if it stop the red eye and bad man in Jamaica, man, when I see people come through, man, we are carry things for people and family, man. You understand?
Yeah. Me
You understand?
still can't believe you come to Jamaica and you don't link me though.
Antigen, me so come back, man. Don't worry yourself, you so won't be there, man. You understand? If I would just, when we come down, you know, no light. Remember in Trinidad, you know, no light, nothing.
So how you manage?
Management, we manage for. We don't know we have to get a Delco and things like that.
Oh.
But yes, and I don't think that we have to work with the thing where you put your phone on for charge and then something. But me don't have no internet, nothing.
So you never pick up no signal down there?
No signal. For I remember, you know, it show me for roam down there and never roam.
So you don't walk with one of Starlink?
No, I never bring no Starlink. Honest to God, I never bring no Starlink. But we depend some different mission when I come down, you know.
Mm.
Yep. So we come and we just come over Spallings and do what we have do and thing like that. You understand me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. So we soon be back out there again, man.
Alright.
Understand?
Yeah.
I know the work issue, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alright. So Antigen, take care of yourself. I'm there just on your program.
Alright then. Take care of yourself.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Alright.
Yeah. Everywhere you have a bad mind. Everywhere you have bad mind. The only people them out there who have bad mind. It's like them bad minded people them things. They have them up there, hug them up like a them wife and their husband. Let me find this one. Everything. I did play the video for no hear it yesterday. Okay, I'm find back a clip away there now. Can't find it back. I forgot to try. Do better when I do this now. So, Everall Wilmington, Montego Bay Airport out till 5 o'clock. Them never opened my suitcase. I had to. Oh, sometimes some of them not bother open a suitcase, but some of them just bad mind. JLP Wilmington appointed ECJ Commission. Jamaica Labour Party Member of Parliament Everall Wilmington is now Commissioner of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, the body that oversees the country's electoral system. Governor General Sir Patrick Allen appointed him on the advice of Prime Minister Holness, who is also the leader of JLP. The commission said Wednesday the appointment took effect on February 1. So when we hear about it, it's done in there already. But me see people post it, but me don't see nothing on the news. Marge, good night. Letia, good night. Sandrine, safe space, good night. The Integrity Commission implements monitoring framework for hurricane recovery spending. Boy, I wish you no luck on that. Honestly, I wish Frederick, good night. The phone lines are now open. Let me open the phone lines up. As a year 2 caller calling already. You can also call in and share your views and current affair that is taking place in our country. If you're over TikTok, you can send me an invite to join the box and you can share. Floyd Green him again. So me want to know, what they really do with the Starlink them? Oh, Winsome is saying to tell the man, Michael, if you listen, Winsome say light is back in South Trelawney. All of Trelawney have light? All of Trelawney get back light, Winsome? We say Angela, bless up everybody from Seaview. Me believe so too. Me believe so, Nadi. Me believe that them a do. Trust me. Now the website where they're supposed to set up so you can read. Not even that in place. Most places, okay. The Auditor General flagged information security access and data protection issue with Support Jamaica website. You can't go on the website and find nothing. If you don't think a joke, go on and type in say if you don't find nothing. Nothing you can't find. All information is private. Back to the story here. Electric restoration in Westmoreland impacted after thief vandalized transformer store at church. Just to them, somebody talk about it. Lie. I must say some old same thing they take and put there for tell lie. But people, I tell you from day one, say what Daryl Val is telling about the whole place, I will get back like by X time. It is very, I'm telling you, a long time I'm telling you, say it is impossible. Not from that impact that I go down there and I saw it first and for myself. Nobody never tell me. And I know an easy task. Somebody was typing in about the student at the school that the teacher take with them, the one they have on them court. I think the school is a little bit overactive. They believe in discipline and principle, but that can make you can say picnic call come at school and you are going to take with them court from them and left them in a call. That is absolutely ridiculous. What you should have done is make them keep on them court, write a letter and give them to take to their parents and tell their parents whatever you need to say. But the children, you take off them coat and make them do their shiver in a cold. That's wickedness, man. That's wickedness. That's a wicked act. Nobody not take away nothing, Madge. Nobody not take away a thing. Lie. They are just liars. I tell you, I have a problem. Every night I come and I find myself one sleep, you know. And I say, what is happening? So when I want to ask, I don't know if anyone can answer a question. Then who else you think they could be Anne-Marie? Yes, Mr. Silvera make a guilty plea saying unaliving wife, yeah. So they have domestic affair and then get upset and unalive her. You never hear Jamaica man? You come and ask me if it's true. So you don't know if it's true. Your man is unaliving wife. It's in the paper. It's in every news media. Same plea guilty. And if you got prison. You know, hear me talk about it last night. If you got prison, when people do wrong things, when people do wrong, they must pay for their wrong. So nobody believes say we are going to support him over here. So we don't like labor right now, we support wrong. We don't support wrong over here. Good night, Vian. We don't support wrong over here. You do your crime, you're going to pay your time. Another cold front to affect Jamaica this weekend. But Jamaica Labour Party are going bad with the corruption though. Every day they name in a mix up. You have anything else you want to ask me? Hello. Hello, good night.
Hello.
Your background so noisy, man.
How are you?
But turn on the radio. Turn on the radio.
Once again, good night.
Good night.
Yes,
You have to turn down your radio. I call you back.
Return it now. Boy, JP so wicked, man. What is wrong with them?
Some nice still in your background. I still hear the feedback.
No, me turn it off. Me turn it off completely.
No, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, better now, yeah.
Every day is a different situation.
Yes, me dear. Yeah.
My God Almighty.
Every single day.
Oh, boy. You know, you have to turn it off. Turn it off.
Me can't continue to call with the noise in it.
Me tell you, little boy, to turn it off. And my grandson, he want to hear it. He want to watch it too. Me have one next phone so it him and watch it on. Go out here so if you want to do. Yeah. Go up on the veranda. Yeah. Yeah, man. Boy, oh boy, are the wickedest set of people I never see.
It's terrible, man. Sister?
Nothing good. Every night, every day is a different saga.
Me I wonder what will come tomorrow. Like every day you expect our next.
I anticipate something new.
Yeah.
No, man.
Mm-hmm.
Coming like the election not done yet.
I first miss one election run at Jamaica and it look like it's not done.
So late, so long. Every day is a different thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. True.
Boy, I tell you, oh, sir.
Yeah.
The wickedest man, I tell you, man. You never see a government were terrible and wicked, so when me see this man come, me I say, well, although me I come ready, but maybe more come with something new or something different.
Yeah.
But it don't make no difference. It don't make no difference.
It worse.
The worst thing ever happened to Jamaica.
It worse.
The worst thing that ever happened to Jamaica. And it's not getting no better because every day is a new thing.
Yeah.
It's a new chapter.
True. Yeah.
Only one that can fix them up, man.
And go on, we can't fix them.
Yes, man. Only him can fix them up, man.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
You're terrible, man.
My God. All you say, they say JP, no government for the poor people.
No, we see it for
No
ourselves.
government, we see it for ourselves.
All the labor right them a ball now too, you know.
But of course.
Mm-hmm. We see one of them, some of them. We see some of them.
Cry, you know.
Yeah, man, them a ball out now.
They're not to cry. At 1 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
1 bro God.
Me never look. I would not even look at them.
Jesus of mercy. No star.
Mm-hmm.
And then just want to blame everything they never done in the past and never done in the past and you'll never see this happen. Come on. You are the order of the day, so you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do.
Of course. Yeah. Still I get a little feedback. You have to call me back one next time. When you call me back and make sure you're there by yourself. Yeah?
All right, take care. Me your Bible study at morning time too, you know.
Oh, you have to type in.
Yes, man. Yeah, man.
All
yeah,
right.
man. We type in. All right. Take
Thank
care.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just remember if you not call, you have to turn off the something in the background. It feel back in something. Let me see what Vian was saying up here. So honestly, I'm trying to not indulge too much in the news from Jamaica. I'm so ashamed of what's going on. True, we live in it, we not have to talk. 1 p.m. don't come as yet. Them stuck at 12 a.m. What you say? The clock stuck. The clock stuck. And I say, what do you say, Vegas come out and I say, a PMP cause all the way happening in the country now because if them in do what they have to do, this government wouldn't have it hard and it wouldn't be so bad. I may say, oh, he might acknowledge we are going in a country, but he might use psychology for say a PMP problem. No, sir. Me never said nothing like this yet. A one set of mad people them. Here? One set of mad thief and criminal them. Every department, you know? Every single department is corruption. Boy, Andrew, may I tell you, boy, I'm my master feed to you know. I'm tell them what to do. Me no know. You will go down in the history book, brother. You will go down in the history book. Evil them. Anybody else want to call in? Anybody, all of them want to be as rich as him. Yeah, everybody want rich quick. Everybody want to get rich quick. That is why you see all of them rich, they want to get rich quick. Oh, you know what I'm saying about look, man? Not one of them in that party can say, because Warrington him we chat, you know. But at the end of the day still, him now lick out against the corruption in a party. And he must see that too. So now we're going to turn something upon ECJ. All of them. But whatsoever man sow it, whatsoever man sow it, you will reap. Yeah? And if you not reap it, your generation are going to reap it. Some of the suffering or some of we are go through. True, we don't know. Because we don't know our family. Let me ask all of you right now on this platform tonight. If you know your great-grandmother. Most of we don't know our great-grandmother. Well, me know my great-grandmother. But most don't know their great-grandmother. Much less we gonna know great-great-grandmother. I don't know none of them the great-great. Me lucky enough to know my great-grandmother by my mother's side. My maternal. I only know my grandmother by my paternal. No, nothing else. You may only hear. Remember, I hear my great-grandmother talk about mama and papa. You ask me if I never listen to Squiddy. Yes, I will get called Squiddy. Daryl Val's name Squiddy. Me don't know the alias name them. I knew my great-grandmother on both sides. Oh, I don't know mine. Mine died before me born. But me know my grandmother and my father's side. Good. Me live with my grandmother a couple times. I go spend holiday most time. My great-grandmother now, me them amongst her for a good while because me there with my grandmother. So me know she good. Me so play up in her hair. Her hair did white and pretty. Me a picture her right now, sit down on a chair. Me know her good. She dead when me a 14-year-old, so you know so me know her good. Cause she lived to be 110 before she died. So me know her good. But beyond that, we don't know. So why me say this? Sometimes some crosses follow it. Make sense, good night. So make the seed where we sow today, we have to understand what we do will come by the next generation. Do you want them to come struggle? So all want to up in there do. I see somebody up there so put something a while ago. Say all of them sick. I know we not hear what happened to Horace Chang. From December, we not hear. We don't got hear We not see him. Nothing. Good night, Sha. Jesus have mercy, man. One little, a country could have far way better. The garbage them could have collect. And I say Isaac Buchanan I come right across the country, I pay garbage we live in. Well, no way, me keep my yard clean. I am Abby Times. Makes sense. I don't know what you mean by that. Come in at the box and tell me what you say. Come in and understand what you say. Oh, him have a, oh, hey, me a different, you see me? If me a scroll and me see, and me stop a little and hear, me never listen, me not listen to the conversation, you know, because it never makes sense. And because of that, me not waste my time. Me not waste my time listen nonsense. Sorry to say. Because it will only just upset your spirit. And for that reason, and that's one of the reasons why I don't really to put them on my platform and I like argue with them, because them don't make no sense. And they get ignorant and then they want to cuss you off and then they want to class you and all of them something there. So that's why I operate my program and my platform different. I'm not going to have a whole heap of people on it because I'm not into the yaga type of stuff, you know. I still have a boundary that I have to work by. So I can't just come and just, you know. I know that enough people love the excitement and they love the storytelling. But regardless of that, I still have to be mindful of how I conduct myself. Or anybody else want to join the program and call in? The phone lines are open, and send me a request on TikTok. Somebody send me this. Let me read this. Integrity Commission for immediate release. The Integrity Commission has developed and implement a monitoring framework aimed to strengthen oversight of government procurement related to Hurricane Melissa recovery effort. Andrew out smart wala uno. So all one go do, uno na go catch him. Jam sandwich official. Nonsense you talk, but since you want to talk nonsense, my man answer your nonsense. We say if you rest in peace. Oh my God. That's why I have to love Nadine. That's why I have to love Nadine. You have a right. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. But you got bit by a black widow the other day. She was in her 40s. Rest in peace. Now they say for rest in peace. So we never bother answer you. Go rest in peace. Oh my God. I get a laugh after I go on my bed. No, this is really nice. Eh? She not bite you good, man. You not get it bite good. If you get it bite good, you know the fire type in. You should have bite off a finger them. And that you should have do. Oh my God. No. I really love this. Maybe it's a walking dead. Maybe No, it's a Biden. Sometimes somebody can come on the platform and type in some stupid things. Yeah, we just take them make jokes sometimes, and I never pay them no mind, because, no, sir. Anyway, we continue to read what I read, yeah? So, when we reach again, we start from the beginning. The the Integrity Commission has developed and implemented a monitoring framework aimed at strengthening oversight government procurement related to Hurricane Melissa recovery efforts. The framework primary objectives are to monitor the awards and implementation of hurricane relief, arrangement, access, the use of public donors, and relief resource during the recovery period. The framework focused on the government of Jamaica immediate and short-term recovery spending, particularly in circumstances where procurement rules were relaxed to facilitate urgent response and restoration and reconstruction. Through this process, the Commission will identify potential red flags, assesses risk areas, and evaluate the effectiveness of emergency procurement measures. Where breaches or irregularities are detected, the Commission will investigate to determine the appropriate course of action and, where necessary, make recommendations to strengthen accountability and management of public funds during national disaster. To support effective monitoring of all procuring entities and required to tag hurricane-related procurement activity as Hurricane Melissa recovery, ensuring that rich transactions are clearly identified and traceable. This initiative follows the passage of Hurricane Melissa in October 2025 and Commission November 3rd, 2025 advisory, which signaled its intention to deepen a monitoring and investigative resources to address act of corruption and inappropriate link to hurricane relief. And then I find everything. Procure. There are people that they master everything. Why Jamaican always do things back way? Shouldn't they have implemented those commission before? Very good question. Very good question. The place is too corrupt, and that's what the problem is all about. Too much corruption. So make we see what will come out of this one. Somebody send me this. I'm going to play it for now. Why?
First, you have to understand that the only way to
Why
win
Vice
is to have
Cartel
the
not getting a
membership
Grammy?
of the Academy vote for you. In order to be a member of the Academy, you have to be a professional working in music in the United States. For now, the United States. Hopefully we grow that. Right now, if you're a working professional in the United States, you can become a member of the Recording Academy. Once you're a member of the Recording Academy,
We call it
all the
holiday.
music
You're
gets
right,
submitted,
makes sense.
the members listen to it, and they evaluate it on the quality
When I listen
of
to
the
madness,
person. Not the sales, not the streams, not how many fans, not how many followers, but purely on the opinion. And it's very hard, as you all know, because it's subjective. There's no best song or best record. It's just the opinion of the membership in that particular year. That's how you win a Grammy. That's it. The voters vote. There's no committees. There's no journalists. There's no labels. It's music professionals voting for their peers. Period.
So that's the reason. I first hear them a kind of something. I never know them the requirement. I first hear them come out and talk like this. Then just name one game. Then just name one game. So yesterday Nikisha did come out and talk about this, how them a sabotage her. They really a sabotage her, Really a sabotage her. Really a sabotage her. Anybody want to make a call? If I don't know I make no call, then tell me, because me go on my bed. It is never too late. The committee can always go back into previous record. Oh, I see what you mean. That's a very good idea. Yeah. Anybody else? Phone lines are open. Portmore teacher charged after allegedly pulling gun and girlfriend. What? I saw them a money are gone. They just feel so them fi analyze if you not do what they want. Alright. Nobody else no one calling. Oh, the clerk, yes. Let me go for the clerk. You're right. I'm gonna talk about the clerk, Let me look for the clip.
One thing God don't.
Alright.
Unlock your stay for less with app-exclusive prices. Download the free Booking.com app today.
Committee members and colleagues, Chairman Hope Blake, Deputy Financial Secretary in the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, and with me is Barrington Thomas, Principal Director of the Accounting and Financial Policy Branch.
And I know there are other members of the Houses of Parliament. Just introduce yourself, please.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members. Ms. Tiffany Stewart, Senior Legislative Counsel.
And you're also with the Parliament? Okay, well, just introduce yourselves, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Stephanie Hamilton. I'm the Senior Research Officer. Good morning, everyone. My name is Angelica. The report highlights breaches of established rules and controls, weaknesses in relation to procurement planning and execution, fleet management, and credit card administration. However, I wish to point out, Mr. Chairman, that one allegation regarding the use of the government-issued credit card for personal purpose was not established by us. We saw no evidence to support that allegation. At the same time, the report that you should have with you reflects management's responses and action taken by management before the completion of our report. Since then, I have received, in fact, yesterday, I received a response from the Houses of Parliament, which was sent Friday evening. The prompt, which I would have shared with the Secretary to the committee, is presented in a different format because the prompt covers the executive summary, the key findings only. The response provided by the clerk is more detailed and went through the full report. I have not had an opportunity to validate anything contained in this prompt that is in addition to the information that was already supplied. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Members, just so I can bring everybody up to speed, once a ministry, agency, or department is subject to an audit, we provide that entity with generally 4 weeks to formally respond to the audit findings. This is in addition to the opportunity that they would have during the course of the audit to provide information to the Auditor General. But once it is tabled and it's final, the entity has 4 weeks to respond, which is why if you look at the status report, you will see the status of other entities that have been subject to audits and the time frame given to them to respond. Once that report comes in, the Auditor General generally does a validation of those responses. Given the late time frame between the submission of the report, what the Auditor General has indicated is that she didn't have the time to validate the response. So I just want to be clear. Member Seawright, I see your mic. I don't know if you have it on deliberately or not. Okay. All right. Madam Clerk, I'll invite you to provide your response to the findings.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today I appear before the committee in my capacity as accounting officer for the House.
I think you have to speak a little closer. Pull the mic a little closer to you.
Are you hearing me better?
Yes, that's better.
Sorry. All right, let me. Okay, it's easier for me to just hold. So, good morning again, everyone. Today I appear before the committee in my capacity as the accounting officer for the Houses of Parliament, and I wish to affirm my respect for the committee's oversight role and my commitment to accountability and the proper stewardship of public resources. The matters before the committee today arose from a special audit conducted by the Auditor General. My office has reviewed the findings, accepted those that are founded, and have implemented corrective measures where weaknesses were identified. I wish to state clearly at the outset that based on the findings, there was no actual financial loss to the government arising from the deficiencies identified, noting that certain matters remain under statutory review in accordance with the Financial Administration and Audit Act. The auditors did not find any private or personal use of the government-funded credit card, and all funds identified were fully accounted for. In relation to fleet vehicle management, I did not authorize any personal use of government vehicles, nor did I authorize or condone the falsification of entries into logbooks. Where control weaknesses came to light, those arrangements were stopped immediately and stronger oversight mechanisms were put in place. As part of strengthening governance and ensuring compliance with the FAA Act, the Houses of Parliament approached the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service and formally requested the implementation of an internal audit committee. This represents the first time such a committee was being established in the history of the Parliament and is a significant step in institutionalizing oversight and accountability. Several of the issues raised in the report reflected historical control gaps and periods of administrative transition. Once these matters were brought to my attention, directives were issued, controls strengthened, and governance arrangements formalized to prevent recurrence. I'm here today to assist the committee fully to clarify the factual and governance context and to answer questions on the systems that are now in place to protect the public interest and the integrity of the Parliament. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. I'll start off by looking at key finding number 1. And for members, I'm reading from the prompt, but you can ask questions either from the prompt or from the full report. The issue of the unauthorized use of the motor vehicle. On the 3rd page, and I just bring your attention to a bullet point. HOP's response dated September 2025 cited August 15, 2025 memo claiming clerk's permission, even though no evidence not provided. Can you elaborate on that? Because the Auditor General is saying there was a response from, so I'm just for everybody so you can follow. I'm reading from this prompt and I'm on, this would be I'm on this page. It's not numbered, but I think it's page 3. Key finding number 2, bullet point number 3. And I just want to ensure just clarity on, you have this or you don't have this? Could we provide a copy to the clerk?
Peace out, making it easier for you, for all that you feel with peace, so waste no time.
And this is in relation to overnight retention and permission for the use of the vehicle. So the bullet point number 3 states the response dated September 2025, cited August 15, memo claiming clerk's permission, although evidence not provided. I'm just seeking clarity on that.
Regarding the overnight retention, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so by way of...
Just, again, put the mic a little closer to you.
Okay, so by way of background information, just to state that the officer in question was completing part-time studies at the University of the West Indies. And he, based on his time schedule at the time, he would often return to the Parliament to complete his duties and responsibilities. And this officer was also the victim of crime, having left work late one evening. He was deprived of his personal effects in the downtown area. And it was known to us that he would often stay here until late in the night, and therefore permission was granted to him that he could have access to the vehicle to ensure his safety in those extenuating circumstances. But certainly no permission was ever granted for there to be any unauthorized usage of the vehicle for personal purposes, nor for incorrect entries to be entered in the logbooks.
Okay, so you would have, my understanding is he was held up and robbed, and as a result, permission would have been granted for him to, is it to keep the vehicle overnight?
In cases where he was working beyond sociable hours.
Okay, and in terms of the, I note, was there a disaggregation? It said, show the facilities and office manager use the vehicle 173 of 183 days, often parked off-site overnight. So how far would the permission have gone in terms of granting him to keep the vehicle?
For the nights when he was here until very late, he would have permission to drive the vehicle home in those circumstances for purposes of safety, but certainly not to use the vehicle for any personal or private use. And I should also state that during the days, he would have also used the vehicle
at the beginning
for official government
the permission
purposes.
was granted.
So, because sometimes we only have 2 drivers employed to the Parliament. Currently we have 1. So on occasions he would also assist us in carrying out their activities.
Madam Auditor General, just seeking your guidance here. In a scenario where there are extenuating circumstances and permission was granted by the clerk for overnight use of the vehicle, what would satisfy the Auditor General? Because it was raised as a key finding and a breach. Was it the absence of written instructions, or what would satisfy you that permission was granted in a scenario like this?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, as the clerk shared her position, I was actually consulting with the AP for that area because...
What does AP mean?
I'm sorry, the audit principal with responsibility for the audit, because what she shared just now, that she granted permission for the vehicle to be used in some circumstances, that's actually new to me. So it is not something that I would have given contemplation to. My understanding up to this point is that there was no evidence that permission was granted for the use
but it's
of
up
the
in
vehicle.
our opening statement, that's what she said too.
I am now consulting with my AP on that. In any event, I believe the circular does say that permission has to be granted by the head of entity. This matter is here as an issue because there was no such evidence that any permission was granted, and my understanding is that the clerk had also denied giving any such permission.
Of course, she did say that.
I'm hearing something else now, Mr. Chairman, that I really do not want to provide any opinion on that until I have better particulars of really what existed.
Okay, so
Yes, Madam Clerk, yes.
The facilities and office manager would have made this disclosure to the auditors regarding the fact that he was held up and that permission was granted. And I also
They said the permission then granted by a full
I would, in the exit interviews with the auditors, this would have been stated. What is clear is that there was no written permission, and what is also clear is that no permission was ever granted for there to be any breach of the FAA Act or for any incorrect entries to be made in the logbooks.
So just so I'm clear, so there would have been, after the incident, verbal permission would have been granted given the incident, but nothing was put in writing. So when the Auditor General would have done her audit, she would not have seen evidence of permission in writing.
There is no permission in writing, that is correct, but disclosures would have been made to the auditors by the facilities manager of what transpired when he was held up after leaving work very late one night.
All right, I see Member Bunting and Member Seabright. Member Bunting first.
I'm just trying to get some clarification. On that third bullet point, House of Parliament's response dated September 2025 cited an August 15, 2025 memo claiming clerk's permission. Evidence not provided. Is that memo in the package? I must say, if you could point me to it.
If you look at HOP 5, I'm sorry, in the exhibits that we would have sent.
Oh, this is in your response that just came.
Would it be in your management response?
Response that would have been shared via email.
Oh, it's the appendix. Oh,
yes.
Sorry. So,
members, I think this is the appendix that you can point us to that particular.
It would be a page, exhibits here.
Exhibit what?
HOP 5.
HOP 5?
Yeah.
If you start lock up them people have to lie, you know.
Okay. So this is the one dated or stamped August 15th, 2025?
It's stamped August 18th.
Oh, 18th, sorry. Dated August 15th. So of the 173,
remember, just pull the mic closer so we can hear it.
Of the 173 occasions that the employee took home the vehicle, how many of those occasions would have fit the approval that you gave?
I would not be in a position to give specific numbers, but that information could be provided in writing.
But qualitatively, would it have been the vast majority? Would it have been half? Would it have been a minority? I just want to get a sense. In other words, was your approval abused, or was it generally in line with what you had approved?
From my own observations, I would state that it appeared that there was no abuse of the permission.
There was no abuse, you said?
Based on my observation at the time, because additional information came to light at a later time, and that is when I would have provided instructions to the legal department. This was in June of last year, for them to also do a review based on information that was coming to my office about the manner in which the vehicle was being used, to determine if there was any abuse or non-compliance with the FAA Act. And upon receiving that legal opinion from our internal legal branch, the facilities and office manager was instructed that he should cease driving the motor vehicle, because in addition to instances where it was found that it was being used for personal reasons, it was also discovered that he was not ITA certified at the time. He did not have the proper certification that would have allowed him to be driving the government-owned vehicle.
Was he aware that he needed that before the ITA certification? Was he aware of that?
Certainly, because based on his job description, he had responsibility for fleet vehicle management, and one would want to imagine that any officer using due diligence would certainly be aware as to what is required of them.
So who for money by just put in our car? I want to hear that the part.
I saw something in one of the exhibits where it also indicated that the certification was granted at some particular moment in time. So if it is that it existed and it expired, certainly the officer would have an obligation to...
Oh, so he had it, it expired, and then he renewed it, but there was a gap.
I'm not seeing evidence of renewal.
It was not renewed? No?
I don't have that evidence.
And that certification lasts for how long? I know a driver's license lasts for a particular period. It's 2 years. So every 2 years, the officer would need to renew. So during this period, how long would he have been driving the vehicle without the certification? Or approximately how long? Roughly.
Expired, I think July. I think it expired July 2024. And he continued to have access, or July 2023.
But what I would ask, Clark, just in terms of checks and balances, the owner shouldn't be solely on the individual. There should be a process where someone else would need to verify that he, in fact, has the certification. It shouldn't be, just from a process management perspective, it shouldn't be left to him alone and that goes for any individual. Someone should, I can say as parliamentarians, we have to provide our updated documents on a periodic basis to show that we still have our driver's license, etc. So whether it is HR or another function, someone should be checking to ensure that all officers who, whether they're granted government vehicles to drive, that they have their appropriate certification. You want to say something, Madam Auditor General? Member Seawright, I'll come back to you, but just release your mic so I can give the auditor. Go ahead, Madam Auditor General.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So I just want to emphasize that the clerk has introduced a new dimension. At page 18 of the report, paragraph 2.8.
Sorry, this is your,
Yes, the annual,
this one, this
audit
report,
correct.
page 18. One
Yes.
second. Let's just get to it.
Section, the revised comprehensive motor vehicle policy is referred to.
You're on what, 2.7?
2.8.
2.8?
Section 5.4.
Right,
Point 4. So it stipulates that the government vehicle should not be retained overnight or beyond a period of specific assignment in special circumstances, such as where a vehicle is used to transport members of staff. And that is where it indicates that the accounting officer, head of entity, can grant special permission. But I want to emphasize that it says beyond the period of specific assignment. The representative from the Ministry of Finance is here, and I believe it would be useful to hear the Ministry of Finance's position on that, because what I am understanding here is that the clerk is saying that she did in fact give the FOM permission to utilize it for personal reasons. I don't know that a head of entity or an accounting officer can grant permission for a fleet vehicle to be used for personal reasons, but you can grant permission for the vehicle to be retained at the end of a special assignment. So if he's transporting members late in night, or he's asked to do an assignment which takes him beyond working hours, then I do believe that permission can be granted to retain that vehicle overnight. So I really want clarification if that's what the clerk said. And as I said, that this is really being introduced to me at this point.
All right, Madam Clerk.
Okay, so Madam Auditor General, just to repeat what I stated earlier, that no permission was granted for private use. I would have given some background information as to why the officer was allowed to use the vehicle based on extenuating circumstances. He would be at work beyond 9 p.m. and this can be validated. And in light of the fact, and there was a particular time as well, we are existing in a very antiquated building and we were having a lot of challenges, and therefore at a particular time he was here.
So why you're not dropping
until
more?
Perhaps
You're gonna drop him more?
Very late in the night. And in those circumstances, permission was granted. And this information is not new. It was clearly outlined to the auditors when they were conducting their research here. So it is not new information, and the facilities manager, I know, has stated this.
All right, Member Clark. Well, Seabright was first, then Member Clark. How about the Member Seabright?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the Auditor General, the management response, it indicated that once the deficiencies in the fleet logbooks and supervision were identified, the Houses of Parliament instituted, I believe, weekly supervisory spot checks, and they strengthened the approval processes and introduced a rule that no fuel or maintenance is authorized without a clearly defined and pre-approved purpose of travel. So from your professional perspective, would you agree that if this is consistently applied, that these measures would directly address the control weaknesses that have been identified in the audit? Now, beyond that, question two, really know, when I went through the reports, the response outlines that the clerk issued multiple written directives, December 12, 2025,
January 14, 2026, January 17, 2026, January 19, 2026, requesting explanations and documentation from the facilities and operations manager. Yeah, these were, repeated refusals to respond. So how does a committee then, how do we distinguish between what could be some institutional control weaknesses, but really individual non-cooperation? And how does an accounting officer handle a situation like that where somebody's blatantly not following internal accountability processes and the audit itself?
Thanks, member. My quick response to question number 2, I think that is that question is best suited for the clerk. I guess she ought to explain to the committee how she will handle this matter. In relation to the logbooks, I believe that if there is consistent and faithful maintenance of the logbook, alongside addressing the deficiencies identified, well, certainly it is hope that there would be improvement in that area in the future. And regular supervision as well. Thanks for that.
Madam Clerk? Well,
So just to state, Mr. Chair, that our response to the Auditor General's finding has been twofold, where firstly, there was immediate termination of the unauthorized access to prevent any further personal use of the government-owned fleet vehicle. And secondly, we have now institutionalized a new structure where we have a new transport manager in place. We have moved from a person-dependent system to a procedure-driven framework. In fact, we are now at the stage, it was raised in the audit report about the non-operational vehicles that are here, and we are almost at the end of the procurement process in getting a haulage contractor to come and remove those vehicles for boarding. And we have a strict zero tolerance policy on uncertified driving. Currently, I can confirm to the committee that we have no officer here at the Houses of Parliament who is operating any fleet vehicle without valid certification. The new transport manager has also implemented and has been maintaining a mandatory register of ITA certifications, and this also extends itself to the office of to the opposition leader's office as well. And the new transport manager has been conducting weekly spot checks and monitoring the logbooks. So no resources are being released unless trips are pre-approved as official business with a clearly defined purpose.
all right, members, Clark, Burton Cousins. Press your thing now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, all. Earlier, the Auditor General would have asked for the permission to be granted for the person from the Finance
Ministry of Finance, Ms. Blake.
To answer a question. But before she does, Mr. Chairman, the same section, page 18, 2.8, I think the answer lies right there. The section 5.4.4 of the RCMVP stipulates that government vehicles should not be retained overnight, fine, or be on a period of specific assignment, correct, except in special circumstances, such as where a vehicle is used to transport members of staff to and from work, or for any other justified extenuating circumstances. The policy authorizes the accounting officer to grant permission for the extenuating circumstances. However, she must satisfy himself of the continued safe custody of the vehicle during these specific assignments. I think the answer lies right there. It is.
I think the issue, if you read the next sentence, is that there was no evidence So I think that's the issue.
The Auditor General is saying that she, when she was doing the audit,
She didn't see any
nothing
evidence.
was provided. But the answer earlier from Madam Clark, and she would have explained the situation
Well, no
point by
labor
point.
right, well, never
So
take blame.
at this point, I still don't see the need to ask for, and yes, we still can get the clarity from finance ministry. But the answer sits right there. It rests with the authorized person to satisfy themselves that this is a special occasion, which we would have heard that the
That's special
person in
occasion, but how
question,
much
the
time a
officer
man
in
I get to
question,
drive?
works beyond sociable time, which I believe is anywhere beyond 9 o'clock going up.
What I want to
Considering the situation
drop
that was presented to us,
when I give man a vehicle for drive, when I stop
prior
around
to
the
that,
corner.
his life was it as it relates to
Kind of
a
one
robbery
time.
taking place.
Okay. Member Cousins?
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, my question and my point is somewhat piggybacks on the point made by Member Clark, in the sense that we are here, Chairman, to get some clarity on what is acceptable and what is unacceptable as far as the government guidelines are concerned. The clerk would have indicated earlier, one, that she allowed access for the unauthorized, for the youth to go to university and come back, and also to keep overnight. 2 admissions were made earlier. The Ministry of Finance is here, and so we need some clarity, because this doesn't only affect the House of Parliament, it affects other agencies of government in terms of what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. We have a scenario before us, whether or not that is acceptable in terms of the extenuating circumstances. I have not heard of any evidence from the officer who says that he was robbed, that he made a police report, and that report is somewhere attached to something given to the Auditor General to verify
very good,
the
very
extenuating
good.
circumstances. So,
he did. Did he?
Yes, and that can be provided at
It's
a
not-
later
it's not
date.
provided in
No,
this
it's not
response.
provided in the exhibits here, but it can be
no,
provided.
but you see, the point is that if you have it, provide it so that you can verify what you're saying is true. And that would not have allowed me now to ask the question, because I perused the documents, I did not see it. And to an untrained eye, you will miss it. But to a trained eye, we don't miss things like that. So, thank you for that clarification.
Do you know I see that again?
No, she says that she will provide it. But, Chairman, I believe the Ministry of Finance.
Okay, I'll ask Mrs.
Provide
Hoblake.
some clarity based on the circumstances.
Hold on. We have a whole heap of mics on.
Trending in metal crafts. Alibaba.com, world-leading B2B e-commerce marketplace.
Before the ministry responds, because I too just want to add something to that. The memorandum of August 15th from the Facilities and Office
Members, please. Member Cousins, please.
Speaks to the whole issue of driver certification. And I just want to, the Island Traffic Authority, aren't they the body that issues driver's license generally? Why do they not accept their own driver's license certification? Why is there a special certification needed to drive a government vehicle when you already have a driver's license?
I don't know who here could answer that question.
No, but it just seems like unnecessary bureaucracy to me. Why would you need? It's the same Island Traffic Authority that would have issued every driver's license, whether private, commercial, general, whatever the categories are. So why would you need a special certification from the same authority that issued the first one? Is it they don't trust their own certification? Because this is not a specialized vehicle. We're not talking some heavy articulated tractor head or something like that. We're just talking a regular, Prado. So that's one. And then there's this issue about the distinction between the yellow-plated vehicles, and I'm reading from this memo, and the privately insured. So I'm going to assume that the yellow-plated vehicles are uninsured or self-insured by the government, and that the privately insured vehicles are the ones with the regular white plates. And again, I just want to understand if there's some distinction between those who are certified to drive the same vehicle, for example, a Prado that might have yellow plate in one instance, but white plate in another instance, but is the identical vehicle.
All right, I don't know who can answer those questions, but I want to invite Mrs. Blake from the Ministry of Finance. Member Gordon, just release your mic and then turn it back on after. No, he was after him. I'll come to you. I'll come to you after, Member Cooper.
Member Clark read from the policy, but I'll just read another section that talks about the unproductive use of fleet vehicles. Section 5.4.2 of the Comprehensive Government Motor Vehicle Policy says, drivers and other authorized employees who operate fleet vehicles must note that the government motor vehicles should only be used for official duties. Therefore, on no occasion should these vehicles be used privately. So that generally governs the use of fleet vehicles. He read further down by 5.4.4, which talks about the extenuating circumstances that gives the accounting officer the right to give permission to an officer to use the vehicles. But of course, you would have seen up here that it spoke about not using it for private use. And the example given here is if persons work late and you have the driver, then you wouldn't require the driver to carry back the vehicle to the premises of the entity, right? So the driver would be allowed permission to take home that vehicle once the accounting officer satisfies him or herself that the vehicle will be safe. So that's generally it. So there is the possibility that the accounting officer can give permission. In this case, he said he was robbed, etc. But of course, there needs to be evidence of that. And therefore, it would need to be in writing, because you would also need to know how long is this permission being granted. So those are the considerations. Exactly. In terms of Mr. Member Bunting's question about the yellow plate and the white plate, assigned vehicles. So if most of the assigned vehicles are privately insured, are insured, not self-insured. Fleet vehicles generally are self-insured by the government.
And those are yellow plates?
Yellow plates.
Okay. All right, Member Gordon, then Member Cuthbert-Flynn. Oh, she answered it? Okay, Member Gordon.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'm grappling with the fine line of demarcation between what is approved by the accounting officer and the policy as it relates to who can drive a government vehicle. It would also seems to me that there's a void where there's one driver short at the Parliament. So over time, that driver was asked to carry out those functions. Would the Auditor General tell me whether or not that constitutes a breach, or is it that the clerk failed to have adequate staff on board so as to avoid the approval of the use of that vehicle?
Thanks for that question. Mr. Chairman, if you'd allow me the privilege of deferring to the representative from the Ministry of Finance who developed the policy, and I think is in a best position to indicate the intent of the policy.
Okay. Mrs. Blake?
Thank you, Chairman. Okay, section 5.4 again. Earlier, it talks about the transport manager will be the officer authorized by the accounting officer to assign and manage the motor vehicles. The intention is that government-owned vehicles, are driven by, we call designated drivers, government drivers. So that's the general rule, right? If you have a government-owned vehicle, not the assigned vehicles now, but once you have a fleet vehicle, there is a driver and there are posts designated for drivers to operate those fleet vehicles. So generally,
Hold on, something wrong with the mic there. You want to turn off that one and use the other one? Turn it on off, use the other one.
all right, sir. Right. In addition, the policy says the transport manager has that only authorized personnel are allowed the use of a fleet vehicle. All right. So there might be instances where there is given permission for another officer to drive the fleet vehicle. However, that person has to be certified, etc., to drive the vehicle. And we do not expect that would be on a protracted period of time either, because you have positions that were created for drivers, and it is expected that they operate the vehicles.
All right, Mrs. Blake, I want to come back to one. Oh, you want to ask your question now? You had asked to do.
Ask another question, if I.
Okay, all right. Before you do, just following up on what Member Bunting had asked about the difference between the ITA certification versus the driver's license. Is that a requirement developed by the Ministry of Finance for certain vehicles that the person must be ITA in addition to having their driver's license?
The motor vehicle policy does indicate that the driver has to be certified. However, this is in keeping with the ITA, the act that they use. So it's just a reflection of what the ITA requires, that the drivers are certified. I think this came out of a concern that there were multiple accidents, and the ITA had, at the time, felt that part of the issue was that the drivers needed to be recertified.
And this goes across the board for all government vehicles?
Across the board.
Okay. All right, Member Corporation.
I hope we can wrap this part up soon, but from what the member just stated, I think it's a non-issue what was mentioned if the clerk failed or not to employ someone to transport persons around. The Ms. Hope Blake just mentioned that the FAA Act, according to the FAA Act, once authorization is granted for the vehicle to be, for someone to keep it overnight in extenuating circumstances, that I'm hearing that it's okay once it's written, correct? So I think it's a non-issue for you to mention if the clerk failed or not. I just wanted to point that out.
Let me just say before I remember that, the only reason this was flagged as an issue at the time of the audit, the Auditor General didn't see written permission, which is why she raised this as an issue. The clerk has said that she provided it to the auditors in the interviews, but at the time she didn't see it. All right. Member Gordon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think my question was misinterpreted by a member from West Rural St. Andrew. At no stage did I refer to the clerk as being derelict in her duty. I asked the question whether or not the shortage of a driver would place that person who was authorized to use the vehicle in a precarious position because he was acting in a capacity not available to the Parliament at that time. And hence I'm asking the question whether or not it would satisfy the Auditor General that the accountable officer made that authorization.
All right.
You still lie,
I'm going to
Michael.
move to the issue of the government-funded credit card. And the issue that was flagged here is that there was an error in terms of the transfer of funds, and it was
We have to go listen to your
undetected for
recital
4
another
months.
night, guys.
I've noted
This
your
now done now.
response since and the issue of a new principal financial officer. But prior to that, could you indicate how regularly were the accounts being reconciled?
So the
and
labor right
whether
now take up for the clerk. So it clearly shows that she a labor right.
the individual
Should the
before
clerk be an
was doing
independent
that on a
person in a
consistent
parliament?
basis? It appears not, but I just want to find out from you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Based on instructions received, it is our understanding that the reports were not being maintained in a consistent manner, and proper oversight perhaps was not adopted in the circumstances, which would have led to this processing error from the back.
And let me just ask, I note you have said since the new PFO has come in, does the principal financial officer report directly to you, and does he give you a status report with a monthly or so to say all the accounts have been reconciled and provide the evidence, give you evidence that statutory deductions are paid, etc.? Is that provided now?
That is correct. He does provide a monthly report, and I can tell you that prior to even my tenure here at the Houses of Parliament, we had an issue where a lot of staff were being either overpaid or underpaid, and since the new PFO has joined the institution, we have seen several changes, and certainly reporting mechanisms are strong, and we do not have any outstanding quarterly credit card reports at the moment, and this can be attributed to the oversight that is being provided by the PFO.
Member Bunton?
On this issue, I mean, $29 million is not a little bit. Is it that the Parliament is so flush with money that they don't catch a 29 million error in transferring? There must have been, was there not a shortage somewhere else that would have indicated that this substantial sum is missing from where it should have been? I mean, and then for it to go undetected for 4 months, I mean, to say indicates weak reconciliations, that must indicate no reconciliation was taking place. How would a $29 million transfer error to a card account not be detected in the normal, I would imagine, at least monthly bank reconciliations that should take place?
Thank you, Member Bunting. So just to state for the record that the erroneous transaction occurred on January 31, 2025, during the tenure of a former PFO who was on secondment to the Houses of Parliament and had the functional responsibility for oversight of the recurrent account. Now, also to state for the record, the credit card in question, it has a limit of $5,000 only. So the error would have occurred between the financial institution, because if we only have a limit of $5,000, on what basis would you seek to withdraw or to make a claim for $28.96 million?
But I'd go further. On what basis would any officer of the Parliament do that transfer?
It was not transferred. The transfer was done based on my understanding from the Accountant General's department. So it's not like the PFO. It is not my understanding that.
Oh, so it
PFO
was not initiated by someone at the Parliament?
That's not my. One second. Okay, thank you. So I've just been properly advised by the PFO that we had submitted a letter to the bank for payments on the credit card, and then the bank actually made that processing error in withdrawing more than what was stated in the cover letter to them. And
So you sent to the bank the amount that you felt should have been withdrawn, and the bank withdrew significantly more?
That is correct. We're just trying to find that. Okay,
Yeah, if you
so
could
it's at
direct us to that memo, please.
So it's at exhibit HOP 9.
HOP 9. Hold on.
I real Dalios are going in Parliament. Real Dalios. Real Dalios. Real Dalios.
This is the January 28, 2025 letter to the manager of Scotiabank?
Yes, that's correct.
Anyway, guys, we can't keep up with them, people. Yeah? We can't keep up with them and they lie. We pick up it back. We play the rest of it tomorrow night. We can't keep up with them. They will keep it till the morning with lie. You can't see say she nervous like a wreck. Because she know. So they take out the other one and put in this one where they can manipulate she. Seems like the other woman never want to deal with what them do. So them take them out. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining in. Thank you for being here. We get overtime tonight, so I can't complain, all right? But I have to go now, because I know I have to wake up early in the morning. So catch you tomorrow, all right? Have yourself a great night. Bye.